Metrostars were glittering among the participants. They became the toast of the nation, national champions of the Metropolitan Basketball Association. Tonight, three members of the champion squad will take center stage on episode 2 of season 2 of The Link. Head coach Louis Alas, Alex Compton, Romel Aducul, Peter Martin, Don Camaso, and Ruben De La Rosa will be joining us to share their basketball journey. Good evening, guys, and good evening to all our viewers out there. Hi, everybody. Kumusta kayo?
Good evening lahat ng viewers at sa'yo, Ray. Good evening.
Kumusta naman ang quarantine period, Coach?
So, alam mo, medyo takot, kaya lang, yung positive is, naging closer yung family mo. Kasi, talaga nasa bahay ka lang.
So, kumusta naman? Iba, Coach Alex, welcome back, Coach. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to see you, Ray. Good to be here.
Right.
Always enjoy being with these guys. This is a special group to be with. So thank you for having us.
Of course, this is a good time to reunite, di ba? Kasi unang-una, because of what is happening to us right now, I think this is the best moment, no? Romel, kumusta naman? How's the quarantine period for you?
Agree ako kay Coach Louie. Very important. Kumbaga, malaking bagay na nasa bahay lang kasi nakapag-spend time ka sa mga bata at the same time sa misis mo. Kasi syempre dati na-work, labas ng labas. And then this is the opportunity na nakakapag-spend time kami sa isa't isa. And then, ayun, actually ngayon, maraming tanong yung mga bata. Kaya, kailangan mo silang turuan.
Best time.
Thank you sa pag-invite sa akin.
Best time to learn. Kasi, syempre, wala naman sila schooling, no? So, this is the best time to learn. Na tayo yung mga nagtuturo, no? I think Ruben De La Rosa has just joined in. Ruben, where are you based right now, Ruben? Ben?
Sa Amerika, Ben, si Ruben.
Nakamute yata siya.
Nakamute ka pa yata, Ben?
Oh, no. Okay.
Okay, Ben, kumusta,
okay
Ben? How is the quarantine period?
So far so good naman. Ito, masaya. Nandito lang sa probinsya.
Probinsya.
Ben.
Coach, nandito ako sa Leyte, Coach.
Kumusta kailan ka dumating, Ruben?
Matagal ako dito sa Leyte, Coach. Almost, almost 3 years na rin eh.
Talaga? Okay.
Oo.
Ngayon ko lang nalaman.
Alright. Coach, I'm going to start off with the questions, no, guys. This is for Coach Louie, no. Coach, prior to coaching the Metrostars, I know you were coming up from teams that enjoyed success being part of the champion team of Pure Foods as an assistant coach and as head coach of Letran in '98. But how easy was your transition as head mentor of the Metrostars that it seems you didn't have much trouble adjusting to the brand of play? Kasi panalo ka agad eh. Ha? Hindi ka naman nahirapan yata.
Hindi talaga. Feeling ko kahit sinong coach pagpunta doon sa team na yon.
Okay.
Tingin ko magkakaroon lang ng smooth sailing kasi i-enjoyin mo lahat ng pagkakataon doon eh. Wala kang problema sa attitude, wala kang problema sa management, wala kang problema sa lahat. Kaya dream team yon para sa coach puntahan yung team na yon.
Okay. Alright. So walang sakit ng ulo, coach, ha?
Wala, pare zero.
Alright. Okay. So,
Ball boy lang sakit sa ulo, Coach. Ball boy.
Ball boy, ha? Okay. Well, Alex Compton, no? With Alex Compton, even before playing in the NBA, were you already aware of how crazy Filipinos are when it comes to basketball? Did it meet your expectations the first time you played there in the NBA?
So honestly, the first time I heard about Philippine basketball was a junior at Cornell University. My assistant coach had played with Johnny A for Triple V as an import. And we were just talking about places he had played in the world. They said, oh, and then I played in the Philippines. And so, oh, that's crazy. That's where I was born. And that's kind of how it all started. And he said that basketball is huge. I remember him telling me, because it was all foreign to me then. Sabi niya, man, you're going to get to meet movie stars and singers and actors and politicians. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I played with this great point guard, Johnny A. This guy's amazing. And there's this guy, Jaworski, who's like a god over there. And like, it's crazy, man. So he had hyped it up. And then when I came, I just, there's only 4 countries in the world where basketball is the number one sport. And as a basketball guy, it's great to go to one of them. And the Philippines is special. So there was no disappointment in terms of the fan support. And also, Ray, with the province being in the NBA, and there was such an excitement that ABS and the NBA really brought to the province. And so that was special.
Okay. But Romel, now you were the best player to come out of college during that time. And you represented the Philippine team as an amateur player many times before. And I'm sure it's every player's dream to play in the PBA. Pero marami rin teams nag-aabang sa iyo doon sa PBA, But what made you choose the NBA over the PBA? Sa tingin mo ba at that time, ito yung liga na nababagay para sa iyo?
Hindi, actually, dahil pagkasabi pa na sa akin na magiging teammate mo si Alex Compton. Kaya ako,
Umayag ka agad, ha?
Sabi ko, marami akong matutunan dito dahil Amerikano to, for sure, dudugo ang ilong ko, kaya matututo ako sa kanya mag-English. Sabi ko, hindi. Actually, siguro, joke lang yan, I think, stepping stone.
Okay.
And then, ang unang nakipag-usap sa akin yung MBA, and then they gave me, kumbaga maganda yung usapan namin, and hindi na ako nagdalawang isip. Sabi ko, mag-stay muna ako sa MBA, and eventually, mag-PBA ako.
Alright. So parang some sort of magpapahinog muna, parang ganyan.
Yes, tama.
Okay.
Tama.
Alright. Well, okay. Aside from his playing skills, Alex Compton had a strong fan appeal because of his charm. And so was Romel Adupul, who has developed a huge fan base ever since when he was playing in the collegiate level. But to the rest of the key members of the Manila Metrostars, including Coach Louie, of course, what was the impact to your personal lives tuwing nakikilala na kayo, na tuwing namamalengke ba kayo o nagpupunta sa mall or kumakain sa labas? May mga nagpapa-picture na sa inyo, mga nagpapa-autograph. So, gaano kalaki?
Feeling ko makakasagot niya si Ruben.
Si Ruben. Ruben.
Si Ruben.
Ben, very exciting player si Ruben eh. Diba?
Wala na. Bumibili lang ako ng suka para tumulong.
Pero nung magbili mo na suka, may nagpapa-autograph sa'yo o nagpapa-picture.
Oo, mayroon din.
Madami.
Mayroon din nagpapa-autograph.
Alright.
Kumbaga, ako lang yung side chick ng mga star. Like Alex Compton, Romel Adupul. Ayun mga idol ko.
Okay.
Kay Ruben, yung pinakamagandang mga dunks, yung mga highlight dunks.
Oo nga. Pag-uusapan natin mamaya.
Makapasa na, coach.
But Alex, for you, of course, di ba? Nakita mo nga, crazy yung mga tao sa basketball dito, no? But how big of an impact was it for you na andito ka sa NBA, then eventually, you became an instant celebrity right there and then.
Well, sa akin, the bigger thing was the culture and being a part of the Philippines. Being a foreigner coming in. I mean, dito ako pinanganak, but I left that when I was 6 months old. So I really didn't know anything. So being able to go into a league that was all over the country, laking bagay sa akin because we got to go to Pampanga. The first game was in Pangasinan, the opening. I mean, the president was there, right? So, as your first time in a country, like, wow, the president's here. That's amazing. And then you go down to Soxargen, and you go to CDO, and you go to Bacolod, Cebu, Iloilo. You're going to all these places that I'd never been. So it was like everything was so eye-opening. I'm getting such an experience with the culture.
Gumaling ka tuloy mag-Tagalog.
Kailangan eh. Mali kasi ang turo ni Ruben sa akin eh. Lalo na si Romel sa si Pedro.
Tagalog ng Tagalog yan para
mali yung turo nila sa akin. Maganda daw yung mga mura eh.
Okay.
Situations dahil sa kanila. Talaga nila ako eh.
Bel, Romel, I know, nandun ka pa lang sa college, may fan base ka na, no? Nagkaroon ka rin ng PBL, no? May mga nakakakilala na sa'yo. Pero when you came to the MBA, mas lumakas ba yung pagtanggap sa'yo ng tao?
Bago ko sagutin niya, welcome na natin si Pedro.
Hi!
Coach Peter!
Coach Peter! Hi, Coach!
Biglang lumiwanag ah.
Coach Peter, hi!
Bakit bakit ang wifi, lakas na ulan dito sa Las Piñas? Coach, malakas pa ulan dyan sa inyo?
Oh, malakas dito sa Las Piñas. Oh, Ben, ayun nga, yung reception sa MBA.
Actually, tama si Alex, yung sabi ng kasi pagdating mo ng MBA sa buong Pilipinas, makikilala ka eh. I mean, pagpunta mo ng Cebu, marami kang kakilala, pero pagdating mo na sa court, talagang kaaway mo na silang lahat eh. Pero pagdating sa labas, kaibigan mo sila. And then, syempre, may platform ka na.
Right.
Sari-sari makikilala mo. Pero makakilala ka na artista. Mga ganun bagay pa.
Artista.
Tama si Alex.
Right. Okay. Coach Louie. Coach, ikaw, syempre, nakikilala ka na noon pa. Ando ka sa PBA, assistant coach. With Letran, you won a championship. No? But how big of an impact is the NBA nung naging head coach?
Super laki ng impact yan, especially sa mga countrysides. Still remember yung wife ko no, na nagtrabaho siya sa DC, sa Washington DC.
Okay.
Pagbalik niya, kinuha siyang speaker sa Cebu. Kalaban namin sa championship yung Cebu. Introduction sa kanya, ito, ang asawa nito, public enemy number 1 ng Cebu. So, I mean, talagang sa Cebu, malapit lang yung malapit lang yung bus namin sa gym, pero bago ka makaalis sa gym, ang tagal because sobrang dami ng tao. Sa Bacolod, same thing. Sa Davao, same thing yan. So, as I've said, mas grabe yung fan base sa countryside. And talaga naging malaking threat din sa PBA.
Oo. Obviously.
And hopefully, yung MPBL.
Right. Right. Okay.
Pero na mawala ka rin sa MPBL, baka hindi na eh.
Grabe naman. Okay. Kasi si Peter nandiyan, no? Si Coach Peter.
Yes, medyo mahina lang ang signal. Teka lang.
Oo. Ko lang, no? I-ask ko lang yung being a part of the Manila Metrostars, no? How big was it for you personally? Paano nagkaroon ng impact sa buhay mo?
Wait lang ha. On ko lang.
Okay,
Teka lang, pangit talaga yung video ko eh.
Sige, balikan na lang.
Pakantsawan na naman ako ni si Coach Louie. Sabihin itong dalawa si Coach, tatakpan ko na lang yan. Mas maganda naman.
Ahead ba na?
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat.
Hi, Coach.
Hi, Coach Alex. Hi, Coach Romel. Love you guys. Of course, the NBA has really changed our lives. The perspective on camaraderie changed my view on basketball kasi. Kasi syempre, ang tagal namin magkakasama. Sometimes mga 12 to 14 days magkakasama kami sa isang hotel. Yung lahat ng mga kalokohan na lumalabas na. I mean, hindi naman magagandang kalokohan. Yung lokohan ba? Yung coach namin, makulit itong coach namin eh.
Talaga.
But at the same time, it was just proving to everybody that we just loved each other at that time. And if I'm going to go back to the most fun experiences I've had playing basketball, definitely it was siguro with those guys. Itong mga diva, itong mga superstar na to.
Diva.
Yabang yung mga yan eh. Sa akin lang hindi mayabang yan mga yan.
Okay.
Eh, Pedro, ang ganda ng buhok mo ah. Looks good.
Oo nga eh. Hindi ako nakapag-ahit. Next.
Okay.
Benru!
Guys, there was...
Benru ba yan?
Coach!
Oh.
Coach Pedro!
Grabe.
Kumusta, Coach?
Ayos lang.
Nagkita lang kita sa atin, Coach.
Okay. Right.
Okay. Yes, sir.
1998, no? 1998, you fell short of making it to the championship round, no? But you were able to get the job done the following season, no? The following season, na anong naging reason bakit naging successful yung journey nyo? Siguro
Nagbago yung
balikan
coach namin.
Oo, bago yung coach nyo.
Kita kay Coach Ricky.
Lagot ka kay Coach Ricky. Yari mo kay Coach Ricky.
Bakit tayo naging successful during that time?
Ako, sasagot muna ako. Ako makulit ako eh. Hindi
Okay.
na alas 6 ng umaga yung practice namin.
Okay. Alright.
Naalala mo. Anyway, go ahead.
Medyo meron kaming player na amoy chico tuwing alas 6.
Okay. So, what were the changes made aside from the head coaching job? Approach maybe do sa approach sa game or probably the mentality. So ano yung mga changes na nangyari na 99 season?
Sila naman, ako sasagutin ko yan. Sila naman one game away lang sila para mag-champion na rin dyan eh. So yung experience nandun na. Tapos the following year, yung core ng team natira.
Okay.
Ayan. Tapos nadagdagan pa ng Gilbert Dimape. Nadagdagan pa ng Chuchu Serrano. So yung core plus nadagdagan ng mga pang diin talaga. So plus yung experience na hindi mo measure kung paano ka-importante the previous year. So yun talaga ang plano dun is championship or nothing.
Okay. Alright. What about Romel? Mel, what were the changes made during that time?
I think tama si Coach Louie. Siguro yung short lang kami nung first year and malaking experience namin. Kaya kami nag-mature. And then, of course, syempre, pag adding si Coach Louie, naging maayos yung combination. Although maayos si Coach Ricky, pero malaking factor na nandun si Coach Louie. Kaya kami nag-champion ng 1999.
Alright. Well, Alex.
Game speed.
So yeah, I mean, ulitin ko lang ulit yung sinabi ni Coach Louie. I think the fact that natalo kami, malapit kami, so natalo kami, we had that hunger because the first year, it was the first year for everybody, right? So parang naninibago lahat eh. And there was a little bit of pressure and expectations on us. We were Manila and we were supposed to be good and we lost. And then Coach Louie came in and then really I thought that there were some key guys that he added, and one of them was also Don Camaso.
Right.
Because Don was a 6'6" guy who could shoot the ball, block shots, rebound, he could score, and he just gave you a different versatility. Pedro was our starting power forward, but then to have Don come off the bench, to have a fireball like Chuchu come off the bench, and then Gilbert Dimape was honestly one of the smoothest, coolest characters out there, man. He's one of a kind. Yvette was special. So you add those three guys in, and then they made a huge impact.
Okay. Ben?
And Jun Longalong. Sorry.
Jun Longalong. Yeah, I remember him. Ben, what about you, Ben? Anong nakita mong changes that happened in 99?
Unang-una, yung 1999, siyempre yung player, disiplinado. Si coach talagang serious yan dating ng practice. Kaya nag-improve yung mga player. nung 1999, nag-kompleto lahat. May point guard, center, Romel Adukol. Baga ako yung backup lang. Mga hardworking lang ako. Depensa, yun lang yung ginagawa ko. May mga, may mga scorer machine na eh. Like Alex Compton, Romel Adukol, like that. Yun yung nag-improve doon nung kaya nakuha namin yung championship ng 1999.
Alright. Okay. Peter? Coach Peter?
Yes. Same. I think not to take anything away from Coach Ricky, who did a really good job. Pero tama sinasabi nila na pagpasok ni Coach Louie, mas nag-gel na kami. Nakapag 1 year na kami magkakasama.
Okay.
And then, di ba, nagkakaamuyan na kami. Kindat lang ni Alex, nagbabackdoor na tapos si Romel tsaka si Alex, yung pick and roll na yun. And then everyone else will just play off that. And I think that's what Coach Louie did, you know. He took yung strengths namin tapos he played off it.
Okay. Looking at the fan base of the NBA, makikita naman natin masa talaga no. And yung iba diyan, most notably yung mga nasa probinsya, medyo mababaw lang rin kasi yung kaligayahan nila no, yung tipong makakita lang ng mga players na magdadang, uuwi na silang masaya, di ba? Yun nga, nasi. So, tanungin ko na si Ruben, no? Ben, ikaw ba during that time, aside from the fact na iniisip mo yung panalo, iniisip mo rin ba na parang makapagbigay saya din doon sa mga tao sa probinsya? Gusto ko nilang makita magdang, ganyan.
Siyempre, oo, yun yung nagdadala ng fans sa mga kagaya Cebu or Bacolod, Davao. Kumbaga, ako naman, Manila yung dinadala ko, kaya yung mga tao, kahit sa sila, probinsya, mga Cebu, sa Manila sila nag-share. Kumbaga, dinadala natin yung passion ng bank, yung mga player, kagaya, basta yun ang kinukuha natin sa pagka-player.
Okay. Coach Louie, looking at the setup of the NBA, it's a lot different from all the leagues in the Philippines. The home and away format is similar to the NBA. Was like an exhausting pace. It could drain your players mentally and physically, leading to the home stretch. But how were you able to prepare your squad for the final grind?
Ano bang ginawa namin? Kami, actually, yung last few games namin, natalo nga kami. Yung last back-to-back games kaming natalo against Bacolod and Iloilo. So, ang akala nga nung iba, talagang nag-pick kami ng mas maaga. Pero talagang yun na talaga kaming matalo rin nun eh. Kasi ang dami naming mga losing game na nananalo kami because of yung lang talaga nila, chemistry.
Pero coach, coach, i-add ko lang, yung sinabi mo nga, natalo kayo ng back-to-back games, di ba? Pero I'm going to highlight your 22-game winning run. 22-game winning streak.
Yes.
That was the longest streak during that time. Tinalo nyo pa yung face pa. 21 lang yung face pa eh. Ibig ko naman sa haba ng panalo, no? But during that time, nakikita mo yung potential na pwede talagang mag-champion?
Like what I've said, sabi ko sa iyo nung i-form team na yun, 1 game away nung previous year, tapos nagdagdag pa ng 3 or 4 key players. So, sa isip ko, sabi ko, itong team na to, parang championship for natin to. Then, pagdating sa practice nga, laging game speed. Walang kamatayang 4 versus 4 yan.
Okay. Alright.
So, talagang sasamahan loob ko kung di kami magcha-champion. And nung natalo nga kami sa Pasig nung game 4, game 3 si Peter na ACL.
Okay.
So, dalawa yung nawala sa akin. Talagang nilagnat talaga ako nung gabi na yun. Sabi ko, mukhang talagang nilagnat ako nun. At Sabi ko, pero sa nakikita ko, si Alex nandiyan, si Romel, tapos si Don. Para kang hindi nawala ng Peter, para kang hindi nawala ng hindi nawala ng Chuchu Serrano. Plus, sa grabe nga yung practice namin the whole year, dun lumabas yung mga reserve namin. Mga crucial stages ng mga crucial game namin. Like Fred Chiang, Jojo Brines, Jun Lungalong. Nasa series kami, sila yung mga key factor ng game namin.
Right.
Yung mga starters namin, parang nag-cancel out na. Pagod na lahat ng kalaban namin, pagpasok ko sa kanila, sila fresh na fresh pa rin. So, until now, pag pinapanood ko yung clip na yun, kahit malabo na, kasi VHS yun. So, pag pinapanood ko, hindi nawawala yung tumatayo yung balahibo ko. Sabi ko, pambihira itong mga batang to. The whole season halos gagamitin mo 2-3 minutes. Tapos yung finals pag ginamit mo, talagang sorry dito sa mga starters ko na to, pero talagang nung mag-cancel out sila, binuhay sila ng mga yon.
Okay. Of course, nobody said it would be easy, no? Na you still have to get past your opponents in the playoffs. Like, you're facing a defending champion Pampanga Dragons muna, no? Sa semifinals, and then battled the Pasig Pirates next in the conference finals, no? Can you recall the struggles you were facing back then as playoffs and which of the teams gave you a difficult time matching up?
Yung Pasig Pirates nga.
Okay.
Kasi hindi naman personnel-wise, lamang kami doon.
Okay.
Pero sila yung feeling ko pinakang best defensive team during that year. Pero gaya ng sinabi ko sa'yo, yung experience itong mga players ko na to, tapos yung willingness, lahat ng ginagawa namin sa practices, nung tinalo namin sila ng Game 4, sabi ko, yung series sa amin na kasi na lang parang formality na lang yung Game 5. Hindi ako nagyayabang pero yun na yung naramdaman ko nung manalo kami ng Game 4. Sabi ko, babalik pa kami sa super air condition venue namin sa Mailmore. Sabi ko, naku, sunog sila lahat sa amin dito. And true enough, talagang third quarter pa lang yata decided na yung game eh. And siguro mga 2 minutes lumapit na sa akin si Coach Joel, and alam mo naman, isa yan sa mga magaling din mag-coach during that may special defense siya kay Alex, may special defense siya kay Romel. So yung talagang scorer namin, medyo naka-cancel out niya. Then, doon nag-shine si Don Camaso sa series.
Okay. In the national finals, you were facing the Cebu Gems. And one of the highlights of the series was the shooting battle between Alex Compton and Don Hontiveros, who was a rising star back there. Did you see the finals confrontation more challenging, Alex? Because here is a guy who was probably as close to your caliber and playing against you.
Well, interesting. I mean, I always thought from the first time I watched him, I thought Don was more talented than me. You know, Don's 6'2". I'm still praying to get to 5'11" someday. And he was just really athletic. I mean, sometimes he would come off pick and rolls, hesitate, and drive down the middle lane and dunk on somebody. I could never do that. And he's just a super talented guy. But honestly, Ray, I never got caught up in the trying to outperform somebody. It was our team against theirs. And
right.
You know, I mean, that goes back to the credit of the way that Coach Louis structured practice, because, you know, the hardest I've ever played basketball is against my brother. It's the hardest I've ever played, because most angry, he would make me more angry and push me around and hit me than anybody else. And the closest feeling I've ever had to that was in practice with my brothers on the Metrostars, because we'd kind of beat each other up. Richie Young must have flattened me about 100 times. And Ruben probably left some marks on my bones a few times, you know, but it was like, there's this like camaraderie that comes from that. that then when you go into battle with those guys, you're excited to cheer for them, and you're excited to. It's all about the whole team. So in that shootout, Don had 45. He killed me in the shootout. But the guys that made the plays, especially down the stretch, were just like Coach Louis said. Junlong Allen came in, was great. Pritchie Young made big plays. Cesar Brown made big plays. Those guys came in. Jojo Brinas came in and made big plays. And that's a credit to the way that he structured practice, that there was no possession or anything that was wasted. They came after us. We went after them. And so it was just parang habit talaga na lalaban ka. They came in and they won the game for us.
Okay. But in the end, of course, Manila prevailed over Cebu, once the hotbed of basketball and producer of some of the all-time greatest players of the country. But how do you think the series was won? Everybody could answer. How do you think the series was won?
Well, I'll just say the same thing, and then I'll let everybody talk. We were all exhausted.
Okay.
Correct nyo ako mali ako. Pero ang alam ko, parang Saturday, Sunday yung games 4 and 5. So and we both full court pressed each other. There was also no air conditioning in Cebu. It was jam-packed. The floor was hard and slippery, and we were beating each other up. And then we went into double overtime in game 5 with really less than 24 hours of rest. So what happened was our bench players in the second overtime came in and won the game. And then it reminded me of what Coach Louis said about passing. Then when we were going back to Manila and they'd have to try to win 2 games in San Andres, hindi mangyayari yun. It was like parang tapos na. So that's my feeling.
Okay. Romel, what about you? Anong palagay mong dahilan bakit yung nakuha yung series?
I think, Juan, aside from yung mga players, magagaling, and then maganda yung combination, and then yung offense namin, kumbaga natural na lang. I think yung tinuro din sa amin ni Coach Louis yung premium na yung defense.
Okay.
Yung kumbaga yung number 1 goal namin is defend, and then makuha namin an easy layup.
Okay.
I think yun yung one factor kaya kami nag-champion ng 1999 because of our defense.
Okay.
Kasi everyday yun yung emphasis ni Coach Louis sa amin. During nagpag 5-on-5 kami, pag scrimmage, puro defense. And excited. Pag nagtuturo si Coach Louis ng defense sa amin, excited kami. Unlike pag ibang mga players, pagdating ng depensa, kumbaga, nawawala na ng gana. Gusto offense. Pero nung time sa amin na yun, talagang premium namin yung defense. Kaya siguro naging successful kami at that time.
Okay. Coach Peter, I know, sabi nga, na-injure ka during that time, no?
Yeah.
Was it ang tawag dito, worth it naman all the sacrifices you made that you were able to win the championship?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think these guys our backs were against the wall going into that series. Kasi not only myself, who was a starter, also Chuchu also. Parehas kami, magka-roommate kami sa Cebu niyan eh. Nagpupuyat nga kami dahil wala kami laro the next day. At parehas kami may ACL noon. But we were there, the team brought us there to support. And I remember those games that Alex was talking about. I think Alex had 45 as well. Alex, did you have 45?
No. That was Don.
Attempts. Sorry, brother, I miss you so much. But anyway, but I think that was our backs were against the wall, and underdogs playing in the home court of Cebu. The only thing we had was home court advantage. 4 games in Manila, so it was a feat. After the 22 game sweep that we had, which I was part of, it was so tiring. Tama sila. Nakapagod talaga. Kaya siguro nagka-injure na rin kami. Kasi sobrang meron pa kaming national team noon, di ba, Coach Louis? Nag-gold pa tayo.
Tama.
Sa
Dami.
SEA Games?
Hindi, may Taiwan pa kami.
Brunei yata yun sa SEA Games eh.
Brunei.
So talagang nakakapagod, no? So yung 22 na yun, idagdag mo pa yung sa SEA Games, idagdag mo pa yung sa iba, baka lumagpas pa yun. Pero never mind. Going back to the finals, I think we deserved it. The way we stuck together and the way, Coach was alam mo, not like what Alex is saying, hindi naman lahat ng team makakakuha ng mga second stringers na and third stringers na mag-ano na magpe-perform. Imagine. Mabigat yun. Mabigat na mabigat yun.
Okay. Ben, what about you, Ben? During that series, what do you remember na kung bakit niya nakuha yung series na yan?
Unang-una siguro yung execution ni coach, tsaka maganda lang yung ginagawa namin opensa. Lalo na pag depensa kasi yung more on defense kasi yung ano namin yun ang pinapagawa ni coach sa amin. Kaya madali lang yung opensa Kumbaga easy to shot lang pag naka depensa ng mabuti. So, yun ang nagdala doon.
Okay, coach, setting aside yung mga playing conditions, 'di ba? Yung the constant traveling, 'di ba? Na kumbaga andito ka na sa latter stretch ng mismong tournament, no? Pero ano pa yung key factors tingin mo na nakatulong sa inyo para makuha yung championship?
I guess nasabi na nila, pero gusto ko lang uling i-reinforce yung mga sinasabi nila. Talagang pinaka nakakatuwa ang magpapanalo sa'yo, yung mga second and third group mo. Lahat ng sacrifices nila during the training, during the scrimmages, doon nila naibigay. Wala na talagang lahat scouted na kasi game 4, 5, game 3, 4, 5 sa kanila. Lahat ng gagawin mo, pati pagpunta mo sa banyo, alam na nila kung kailan ka pupunta. So, ang hindi nila alam, yung mga second group, third group mo, kung anong gagawin. Yun ang naging factor talaga, biggest factor. And game 3 medyo maganda yung nilaro nila, pero we're down by more than mga 18 siguro nahabol namin. And game 4, very close pa yan. Ang mabigat niya game 5 the following day. So instead na malungkot kami, sabi ko nga sa kanila sige, pwede kayong lumabas, alagaan nyo lang yung sarili nyo. Ganun lang, hindi yung magagalit ka na sa kanila or papipikon ka or whatsoever. Sige, kumbaga smart lang sila sa katawan nila, pero sila kahit sabihan mo ng ganun, I guess kahit napuyat nung gabi, nandun lang sa andun lang sa Rosa. And hirap din silang lumabas kasi kalaban namin lahat nandun Baka mamaya, punta ka sa bar, patiding.
Batuhin nga ng kamatis.
Hindi talaga.
Batoon! Sabi sa'yo.
Hindi talagang siguro talagang gusto rin ng Diyos na manalo kami. Pero yung game 5 na yun, the hardest. The hardest talaga. And like what Coach Alex said, after the 2 OTs, parang ramdam mo na. Babalik na lang kami sa Manila just to collect the game 6. Kasi sa panalo na yun ng game 5, mahirap ang talunin itong mga to sa game 6 kasi sobra na yung pinaghirapan nila. May nakalimutan pa nga kaming may game pa kami dito, may tournament pa kami dito sa Manila, yung Siaba. So 3 national team tournament kami. So extra mga 12 games kami compare sa ibang teams.
Okay, Coach.
Ray, can I just throw something in there? Because this is where Coach Louis wouldn't get the credit for this, but this is really important. The reason that those guys came off the bench and made the plays in Game 5 and we won was because of the way that he structured the competitiveness of practice. So it had to do with the guys, but nag-umpisa ang season namin December 1998. Tapos December 1999. So with all those games and all those practices, and seriously, in my whole career, the most fun practices I was ever a part of was that year. There was no more fun practices, but it was also the hardest. It was like it was only 2 hours of like nonstop in your face, super hard and intense and competitive and fun. But you do that for 13 months. And if you're on the bench, it's easy to check out. But Coach Louis kept those guys engaged and involved and competitive every day so that when that situation arose, they were sharp. and that's actually something that really goes back to the coach. I mean, those guys did it and they deserve it, but it would be easy to let them check out in June, and they didn't, and he kept them going, and that's really why we won.
Sorry, Lex, can I add also to that?
Sure.
Even the structure of the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th man. I think it's important for a team to have like those, like what you said, willing guys to just play and just be behind the scenes, and then suddenly one moment, boom, they're there playing game 5, winning the game for us. Diba? Parang even in those 9th to 12th men, parang kailangan it's a unique position that you can't just put a starter there and he might just say something and stuff like that. But of course, aside from the fact that Coach Louie did a good job, he did a good job also filling in those sila Jojo Brines, di ba? Galing sa iyang coach eh. Sila yung hindi umaangal eh. Hindi sila umaangal talaga eh. And then suddenly it came up to the point that their number was called and they were there. Galing nga.
Okay. Coach Louie, I know the championship in the NBA serve as a ticket deal para makapag-coach ka sa PBA, no? In the case of other members, how did it help you in the long run in whichever career you've been into? Let's begin with Coach Louie.
Pinakang biggest thing doon sa akin is kung paano ka makikipag-communicate sa kahit sinong tao. Kasi yun ang natutunan ko sa kanila eh. Dito nga, siguro pag nagko-coach ako sa kanila, siguro very, very few lang yung sinasabi ko sa kanila. Kasi, look, nagkakaintindihan kami, tingin pa lang eh. Siguro, na-acquire namin yan during practices and during mga travel, siguro. Sa akin, yun yung malaking natutunan ko. Pwede ka namang maintindihan, pero few words lang yung pwede mong sabihin.
Okay. Pili lang talaga. Okay. What about Alex? How did it change yung career path mo following your stint in the NBA?
Well, I mean, on a career note, it was the best year of my whole career by far. And the first thing is we won the championship. You know, I won the MVP that year, but it's really like, I guess it really, obviously it could have been Romel. It could have been, I didn't care. I mean, I don't mean that in an ungrateful way, but it's about the team. And it was like, it's nice. I appreciate it. That was nice. But if I got the MVP and we lost, it's like Coach Louie said, the whole year is about championship or bust. Who cares about that trophy? Like, that's not what the game is about. The game was never designed for that. The game was designed for us, not for me. So it was really just such a great, like, it did stuff for me professionally, but the biggest joy that it gave me is like, I get happy seeing Ruben on screen right now because we have a shared thing that nobody can take away. Like we have memories that nobody can take away. And my friend from Leyte, and I'm the boy puti.
Thank you, Coach Alex.
Ako si Angel. Ito yung pinakaunang, si Ruben ang pinakaunang Calvin Obueva. Ang likot niya, grabe. He is everywhere, getting rebounds, getting in people's faces, D'ing them up. He was just like a ball of fire. So you got all these relationships. And what it did for me is we're talking. And I can think at night sometimes, you know, like I don't get to think about these guys at a championship. I can just remember and have this joy in my heart for the things that we did together that can never be taken away. I can lose any trophies, but I'm like, man, I see Pedro's bald head shining there and I'm just filled with joy.
First 2 points. The first 2 points in the NBA.
All right. Okay. Romel, what about you, Romel? Yung naging career path mo following the success of your team dito sa NBA?
Sino ba? Si Ruben o ako?
Hindi, ikaw, Romel, men.
Okay. Aside from siguro winning the championship, I think sobrang tinitreasure ko yung until now, yung relationship namin. Sa tingin ko, nagpunta ako sa PBA. No, nothing against PBA, but malaking tulong din yung PBA sa buhay ko. And then nakapag 12 years na ako. Pero I think yung relationship namin sa bawat isa, sobrang yun yung parating kino-compare ko. And then yun yung number one I think na tinitreasure ko hanggang ngayon, na yung relationship na sobrang band of brothers. You know, parang nakikita mo as a band of brothers na si Pedro, alam ko yung kahinaan yan. Si Ruben, alam ko yung alam malakas sa kanya, alam mahina sa kanya. Si Coach Louie. Okay yan si Coach Louie.
Masaya yung samahan, masaya.
Yung samahan. Hanggang, alam mo, kahit matanda na kami, pag balik-balikan mo, walang flows.
Okay.
Happiness.
Right. Ben, ikaw Ben, after that, ano bang nangyari sa'yo? Nagpunta ka na ba overseas or naglaro ka pa rin ng basketball? Anong pinagkaabalahan mo after that?
So far nung after NBA, kumbaga nag-down yung NBA noon that time.
Right.
Nag-work muna ako sa kasi wala na akong pagkakalibangan wala akong trabaho kumbaga no financially ba. Nag-work ako sa SBME Fire Department, then after doon nakapag-abroad na ako. Yun yung time na naging 7 years din ako sa abroad, then bumalik ako. Nag-for good na.
Alright.
Kumbaga yun na yung career ko, wala nang basketball talaga. Dito na lang, laro-larong labas na lang.
Okay.
Yun na lang yung career ko.
Alright. Okay. Coach Peter, how did it help you in the long run after your MBA stint?
Well, at that time, we built this house. Part of the finance of building this house is coming from the NBA. At that time, buying a lot and yun. But again, yun din yung if you look back at the memories, like Alex was saying, it's the as a player, walang katulad yung memories na yun. And I think that I can pass that on to my children, to even the girls that I have. I have one more thing pala, yung discipline.
Right.
Na wala ako nung siguro high school, nung nasa PBA ako, bangko ako I played a really good first year sa PBA, and then the second and third year parang hindi na masyado, and then kinuha ako sa NBA. So sabi ko, bakit ganun? So nung patay na nabuhay pa, sabi ka nga nila sa basketball. And then nakuha ko yung discipline na maayos, not only because of Coach Louie as a good leader, but also these two, si Alex at saka si Romel, yung dalawang superstar tumatakbo. Kaya kung isa sa pinakamatanda, kailangan tumakbo din ako kasi tumatakbo sila, mga leaders. So sunod-sunod lahat yan. So I think one of the things that I got, going back to your question, is the fact that the discipline that one has, I think it was perfected in me when I became a member of the 1999 NBA basketball champions.
All right. Okay. But Romel, there was a time, you and Danny Ildefonso were being compared. Kasi nga, dati kayong teammates sa national team, and if I'm not mistaken, mahigpit rin kayong magkaribal sa PBL, no? But when you saw Danny Ildefonso winning back-to-back MVP sa PBA, hindi rin ba pumasok sa isip ko na somehow gano'n ka rin ka-dominant if pumasok ka na kasabay niya? So anong pakiramdam mo kapag sinasabi ng mga tao na sana nag-PBA ka na lang?
I think may kanya-kanyang, I think it boils down to God. May kanya-kanyang plano sa amin sa bawat isa. Kung mag-compare kami, naging competitive kami sa college, compare yung bawat isa sa amin. Pero yung relationship namin sa bawat isa, I mean, sa tingin ng ibang tao, pero sa amin dalawa, walang rivalry.
Okay.
Oo, wala. Wala naman ako doubt na sana nag-PBA ako. Good decision naman. Kumbaga, plano talaga ni God yun.
Okay.
Yun, plano talaga ni God.
Pumasok yung FedEx nung 2002, no? And totoo ba na kino-convince ka nila, no, na magpa-draft ka na kasi nga kukunin ka nila, no, sa PBA?
Actually, Kwampay, nasa MBA pa lang ako noon. Marami nang nagkikipag-meeting sa akin kasi uso nung yung direct hiring eh.
Right.
Name your price, pero to see yung mga teammates mo na ganito at the same time, may team owner ka na si Boss Louie na sobrang bait.
Right.
Talagang wala kang kaplano-plano umalis eh.
Okay. Alex, there was a strong clamor back then to allow you to play as a local player in the PBA. It turned out it wasn't approved until Wellcoat and Rain or Shine took you in as an import. You became the second import of the squad as part of the concession being given to the team at that time. How did you feel that being at that time you're being allowed to play as an import?
Super blessing. Seriously, at that time with Wellcoat, I was like the bottom of the totem pole on the assistant coaches. I had just started coaching, and I was fairly useless to Coach Leo. And then in the import tune-up games started, and Coach Leo was having me practice sometimes, and then would put me into tune-up games, and I didn't know about it. Boss Raymond and Boss Terry hadn't told me that they were working on something. And I remember we were playing at Adidas Sports Camp, and we played Pure Foods. And after the game, I'd played like 20 minutes or something. And then someone said, "Hey, Boss Raymond's on the phone for you." So I went and took the call, and he said, "Alex, congratulations. The PBA is letting you play as an import." And there's so many things in that statement that were so like, first I was overwhelmed and grateful because I really wanted to. And then I was overwhelmed because I didn't know I was going to be an import. So I was kind of out of shape because I thought I was a coach. And our next game was in 4 days. We were the opening game. And I was like, yes, oh my God, it's amazing. And then I looked at my stomach and I was like, no, I'm not in shape. And then the other thing was I'm not an import. I'm not as good as imports. So it was like all these mixture of emotions, but it was overwhelmingly gratefulness. And I wanted to honor the process and their decision to let me play. And the PBA didn't have to let me do that. And I'll be eternally grateful for that, because then I got to have that one conference doing that. And they didn't have to do that. So it was really just favor. So I was really blessed by it.
Okay. Romel, when you joined the PBA, you became part of the champion teams, no? But the expectation of fans na makakapag-dominate ka rin sa PBA in the same way na nagdo-dominate ka sa mga liga na nilalaruan mo before. And syempre, hindi rin naman ganun nangyari, no? Ito ba, tingin mo masyado lang mataas yung expectations ng fans?
Sa akin siguro, as a player, hindi ko naman na-achieve yung parang individual award. Pero tinitreasure ko yung, I think from college to PBA, nag-champion ako. I think yun yung ngayon, kino-compare nila, sinasabi na wala ka masyadong individual award o hindi mo na-dominate. Pero nag-champion naman ako. Ilang beses ako nag-champion sa PBA.
Right.
Kaya sa career ko as a basketball player, na-fulfill ko na. Okay, kasi siguro hindi ko na alam sa iba, pero pag as a player ka talaga, yung championship yung tinitingnan nila sa lahat eh. Yun.
Tama, okay.
Tingnan mo na, Mel, 5 championship mo sa college, di ba?
Oo, 4 times.
Four lang. Four lang? Or 5?
5 kami, pero naka 4 years na ako sa
So 4 championships in college, 2 sa NBA, ilan sa PBL?
Sa PBL, isa. Tapos,
isa lang. Okay, so that's 7 already. How many sa PBA?
3, 4.
Okay, 3 or 4. So that's 11. That's not bad. You're a winner, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Coach Peter, you didn't have much success as a player just like the others, no? But you were a multi-titled assistant coach at San Miguel. Do you feel blessed?
Good, baby.
Do you feel blessed with your basketball journey, or meron ka pa sanang gustong ma-accomplish noon na pero hindi mo nakuha?
Oh, wala na. I mean, okay na ako dito. Alam ko naman yung talent level ko, hindi kagaya nung Romel Aducol or Alex Compton or ano. Hindi cooking galing kay Coach Louie yan. Pero Ano tawag dito? Well, I'm so blessed also. I'm as blessed as any one of them there, as Romel, as Alex. Of course, how can you not wish to be a basketball assistant coach or a head coach or a team manager for that matter in the PBL before, after a playing career? I think that's the best thing that one a fading player could have and could wish for, and I got that. And again, happy to be here, and San Miguel's the best, I just want to say.
Right. Okay. Coach Louis and Coach Alex, there was this moment wherein you wanted to bring the winning legacy back together as coaches with Alaska, and apparently you ended up short achieving it. But to see you guys reconnecting, what made the connection more significant nearly 20 years apart?
Coach Louis, ikaw muna.
Ikaw na, Coach. Sunod na lang ako sa'yo.
Okay. Well, sa akin, parang, kasi, sinabi ko diretso kay Fred. Sabi ko, Fred, hindi dapat akong coach. Dapat si Coach Louis. Siya yung best coach dito. So, diretso ko na. I mean, there's no shame. I think one of the things that we got, just even from that whole Metrostars thing, is it's always about the team.
Okay.
And just being honest. And if somebody needs to step up, you step up. But you don't lie, So, I mean, Coach Louis had been coaching while I was starting playing. So something to be said for not just the success, but experience as well.
Mm-hmm.
But, they wanted to hire me. So I just went right to him and asked him, like, Coach, I need you to coach me. Because I've never been a head coach anywhere. So it's not like I didn't have experience being a head coach of 7-year-olds.
Uh-huh.
So being a head coach, there's just so many different things that you have to think about.
Okay.
You're thinking about the management, the media, the training staff, the ball boys, the practice schedules, the room assignments, the who's sitting where on the bus. I mean, all this stuff that's not, should we run a pick and roll or a down screen? Should we double from the baseline or the top? It's not just that. And Coach Louis had been doing that literally for decades. So I just told him, Coach, you need to mentor me. You need to coach me. And I don't like the idea of, I don't know how we said it, Coach Louis, so you can correct me, but it was something like, I don't like the idea of you being an assistant because that just feels wrong. You're my coach. So let's call you an associate head coach, because I need you to coach with me and to coach me through this. You just know so much more about this than I do. And it was such a blessing to me because, I mean, I just go to him all the time. Like, what am I missing? What are we doing wrong? What should I look out for? Right. And it was like, you know what I've noticed, Ray, and I've noticed this a lot, and you see it in NBA teams. Mm-hmm. You'll have younger coaches that have assistants that are veteran coaches.
Okay.
Because those guys know, and they're wise, and they have experience that you don't have, and you need their voice and their eyes and their experience. And I see it. We got to interview Del Harris with our NVTC webinar stuff that we're doing. And he's one of those guys that does that. You saw that with Tex Winter. You see that, like, you go around and there's these coaches that are older than the head coaches, but those head coaches are leaning on them, man. And I completely experienced that. And so it was pretty awesome for me because I really thought Coach Louis should have been the head coach. And then, so it became me, but then I just asked him to be my coach again. But now to coach me as I'm the head coach. So that's that's how I remember it.
Coach Louis?
Yes, ano ba yun?
Yung 20 years apart, yun nga, na-reconnect kayo ni Coach Alex, di ba? How significant was that?
Ako, sasabihin ko na lang yung nakita ko kay Coach Alex.
Okay.
Like what he said, sinabi niya sa akin lahat yun, pero I'm super, super impressed sa ginawa niya sa amin doon kasi no experience as head coach, pero with flying colors.
Mm-hmm.
And I really believe, siguro konting break lang, or siguro kung destined kaming mag-champion, baka during that run, baka hindi maraming championship ito nila Peter eh. Baka napunta sa amin yun, diba?
Totoo.
Right.
I can attest to that, tama.
Siguro hindi lang talaga para sa amin yung mga things na yun. But no regrets. Being the assistant of Coach Alex, ang dami ko ring natutunan and ina-apply ko ngayon dito sa PBA.
Right.
is one of the best coach that kailangan mag-head coach uli yan.
Of course, it's only a matter of time. We're going to see Coach Alex sa PBA. No? Okay, Romel, I know there was this phase in your life na very challenging as you had to battle cancer. How did you overcome this?
Ray, siguro ko lang. Na-bless din ako na nagkaroon ng wife na doktor.
Tama.
I think, kundi dahil sa wife ko, sa stubborn ko kasi nung time na yun, peak of my career, nagka-championship pa kami. Dinidelay ko. And then, kumbaga, ikwento ko lang. Kasi nung semis kami against Barako Bulls, meron na talaga ako lymph nodes eh. And then, sabi ko sa wife ko, kailangan ko muna mag-championship bago mo ko ipa-biopsy. Siguro sobra ako stubborn eh. And then, ayun, dinelay pa. Dapat pumunta siya ng Canada. Supposed to be, magkikita kami sa Amerika. Pero eventually, bumalik siya agad kasi sobra siya worried eh. And then, yun, pinabiopsy namin. Stage 4 na pala. And then right then and then, di na ako lumabas. Pinakimo niya na ako right away. Siguro split seconds lang kung mga 2 days, 3 days, dinelay ko. Wala, 6 feet under na ako. Kaya sobrang blessed ako dahil yun, napangasawa ko siya. And then eventually, after that, bumalik pa ako sa basketball. Pero iba na yung strength ko eh. Kunyari, everyday ako nagpa-practice, parati ako napapagod. Tapos, pag isang banggal ako, dati wala akong nararamdaman, para akong kalabaw eh. And then, pag ako naglalaro na, parati ako nagkakasakit. And then, siguro ako nag-decide, di kami mag-asawa na kailangan ko na mag-retire.
Okay.
And, ayun. Sobrang, I just give credit to my wife. And then, yung mga taong nagpe-pray sila Alex, yung mga parati akong tinitext, mga friends ko, kundi dahil sa kanila, sobrang down eh. But, siguro malaking tulong yung, kaya ako naka-recover dahil sa mga taong positive na tumutulong sa akin. Kasi pag may sakit ka, wala kang ibang pinahuhugutan kundi si God. At the same time, yung family mo and then yung friends mo na they will encourage you. Kaya hanggang ngayon, buhay pa ako. Okay pa ako.
Naman, no? Okay. Looking back at where you are right now, if there's one thing you need to be thankful at when you were still building that magical run with the Metrostars, what would it be? Siguro let's begin with Coach Luby.
Pag matanda daw, panghuli boxer eh. So,
ganun ba? Simulan natin sa mga bata.
Pinakabata si Ruben.
Ruben, sige, Ben. Yun, ano yung gusto mong ipagpasalamat nung time na meron kayong magical run with the Metrostars?
Wala.
Nakamute.
Nakamute si Ruben? Ben?
Nakamute siya.
Okay.
Okay na. Okay, Coach, thank you. Nakasama ko yung mga star like Alex Compton, mga coach na ngayon, Peter Martin, Romel Adocol, halos mga coach na lahat yan. Kaya parang na-encourage daw mag-coach dito kahit bara-barangay lang. Masaya na ako.
Okay.
Yun lang ginagawa ko, makapagturo ko sa mga bata dito sa Leyte, sa trabaho ko.
Okay.
Yun lang yung mga regards na coach, keep safe na lang sa inyong lahat dyan. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you sa inyo lahat.
Okay. Sige. Coach Alex.
The lessons really, I mean, I think there have been teams that I've been on before that have won that I like the guys. I mean, my bent as a person is I like people. But there wasn't the same kind of camaraderie that we had with the Metrostars. There was there was something really different about it. And so there was like a collective humility and hunger that allowed us to not care who got the points or not care who got the rebound, or to also kind of, pardon my language, but beat the crap out of each other in practice, but understand it was to make us better. That it was like that whole general feeling, that ethos, that whole like, that it's always just not, it's really not about you. It's always about us. And that's like a life thing, you know, it's about your family. It's not about you. It's about the community. It's about your team. It's about your school, whatever. It's not about you. And that's for me, it was just like, it's like deep in my heart, it's impressed upon what we shared. It's just, it was so special. If there was a way that I could package it and formulaically apply it to everybody, it'd be great, but it's not that easy. But yeah, to me, that was the biggest thing, that those relationships and these special memories. And yes, we won, but it was the guys. It was really the connection with the guys.
Coach Peter?
Yeah, I got a lot from my experience with these guys. You know, maybe I can say, first of all, the financial, again, of course, it's important for all of us. Secondly, it's actually a template of what a basketball team should be. Of course, sabi mo, kung may talent, iba rin yung talent eh. Pero kami tama-tama lang siguro, may konting talent. But at the same time, it's a template of what a basketball team should be. Next is all the memories, the good memories. You can, right before you sleep, you can look back at some pictures and think of the things that happened at that time. Napakasaya. And of course, people go and spend so much to travel abroad and travel around the world just to have experiences, and we got our experiences playing basketball, the best basketball of our lives.
Right. Mel? Ruel?
Sa akin, siguro parang sinabi ni Peter, aside from financial, siyempre galing din ako sa mahirap, and then sa tulong ng NBA, sa PBA, umangat yung family, and then natulungan ko yung family ko sa province. At the same time, siguro I will always treasure yung relationship namin sa bawat isa. Kasi I think yun yung legacy na pinapass on ko sa mga players, upcoming players as a coach. Yun yung parating sinasabi ko sa kanila, yung walang superstar sa amin. Kumbaga, ginigib kasi si Alex pag nakapasa sa akin, easy layup. Siya yung natutuwa eh. Kumbaga, yung assist niya, parang siya na yung naka-score nun. Yun yung unselfish ba? Kaya siguro naging successful yung 1999 namin dahil sa pagiging unselfish, and then yung relationship namin sa isa't isa.
Yes, right. Coach Louie.
Yun, sinabi ni Romel, yung selflessness.
Okay.
At yun yung dinaladala ko kasi after my stint with the Metrostars, punta akong PBA na hindi naman masyadong maganda. So, wala namang regrets doon. Pero lahat ng moments na nakuha ko sa Manila Metrostars, dinala ko sa Letran kasi after PBA, bumalik ako sa Letran eh. Ang malaking difference lang, sa Manila Metrostars, ang treatment ko sa kanila is para akong mas matandang kapatid lang. Sa Letran talagang father figure na eh. So mas mahigpit, almost parang martial law. At hindi ko rin nire-regret yun na maraming nagalit sa akin doon mga bata. During that moment lang. Kasi marami sa kanila bumalik, hindi ako kinontak for 2 to 3 years, 4 years. Pero after there, nung mag-asawa na sila lahat, kinokontak nila si Lisa para kunin kaming ninong at nina. So sabi ko, hindi ka nagalit sa akin kasi kinontak mo na ako eh. So yung mga bagay na yun, natutunan ko lahat sa Manila yon. At gustong-gusto ko pa rin gawin yon. Kaya lang, different folks eh. And I'm very, very lucky lang kasi na-encounter ko itong mga tao na to sa Manila, sa Manila era namin. And hindi mo makakalimutan. And alam yan, kahit kausapin niyo yung mga anak ko, talagang grown up naman sila. Palagi namin pinagkakwentuhan yan. And minsan nga sinasama ko silang manood ng sinasabi ko kanina na luma-luma ng mga VHS natin. Naparlipat ko kasi sa eh. Pero talagang hindi mo makakalimutan yan habang nabubuhay ka.
Okay. Right.
So, tinatreasure ko yan.
Okay. Guys, meron lang tayo segment dito tinatawag natin the list. It's a list of a little bit of everything, no? So meron lang akong ipapakita rito, your most embarrassing moment as a player or as a coach. Isa lang, natatandaan nyo. When you were with the Metrostars, of course.
Wow, that's hard.
Wala akong maisip
Wala akong maisip, Coach?
Pedro, palaging tinitira mo ako. Kailangan tulungan mo ako.
Isa lang.
I can't think.
Oh, you want that time when I told you some what the beautiful woman.
There you go. There you go.
When I told you what a beautiful woman in Tagalog was.
That's right. Okay, so I got mine. Welcome to the country. Thank you, Mr. Victor Pedro Martin.
Okay.
He told me, like, I didn't, wala kong alam sa Tagalog nun eh. So we were walking to Ultra and he's like, he said something and then I didn't know what he said. And then he said, hey, so you know what to call a beautiful girl when you see her, right? And so I said, I think beautiful is like maganda or something, I couldn't speak. And then so how do you say girl? And I can't tell you on air with the word that he gave you for girl. But he told me a word.
Okay, all right.
And the word he told me is not nice.
Okay.
So I was living with the Tridian family at the time. I had just gotten to Manila. And then so I went to dinner and these are the team owners and they're wonderful. I mean, they're seriously like they're just such great people. They're really nice. So I'm at dinner with Boss Louie and Tita Cynthia and their kids and Tita Dawn, one of her best friends who comes over. So I wanted to show off my new Tagalog that my friend and team captain, Mr. Victor Pedro Martin, taught me. So Tita Dawn went to the bathroom and right in front of Boss Louie and Tita Cynthia and all the kids who were like 7 and 5, I said, hey, Tita Cynthia, Tita Dawn is a magandang and she goes, woo! And then I thought she was impressed. So inulit ko, syempre inulit ko, nagyayabang na ako. Yes, she's a very magandang. And then Boss Louis just like, oh, buddy, don't say that. And then he told me, like, no. May nagloloko lang sa kanya. Hindi niya alam niya. It's okay. Don't say that again. Don't say that. That's bad. And that's where I learned what the term benta meant because I they're the team owners. They could have like just fired me, said, go back to the U.S. You don't insult our friends. Luckily, they're understanding. So, yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. Ben, may
Wala akong maalala eh.
Wala ko. What about you, Ben? May naalala ka ba, Ben?
Wala. Mahina tayo dyan. Wala tayong ano dyan.
Coach Peter?
Wala, Ray. Wala. Wala na actually na. Baka may maungkat pa dyan sa mga yan.
Next question, please.
Okay. On top of your head, the player or a coach who has been a matchup problem for you. Isa lang. On top of your head. Well, let's begin with the players. Romel.
Ako nung NBA days, yung 1999.
NBA, 99, yes.
Siguro yung si Matt Mitchell sa Cebu.
Ooh.
Okay. Matt Mitchell.
Diba?
Okay.
Laki nun eh.
Okay. Right?
I think siya.
Okay.
May naging problema ako sa kanya at that time.
Okay. Coach Peter, what about you, Coach Peter?
Marami rin, pero siguro natatangi lang for me is si Gilbert Castillo. He's a good friend. Kilala niyo si Gilbert?
Pasig,
Gilbert,
diba? Pasig Pirates.
Yeah, Letran. So in Letran, we met sa NCAA, tapos nagpa-draft kami, sabay kami nagpa-draft sa PBA, sabay kami nagpunta sa NBA, tapos doon, Pasig nga. Ang hirap niyang kalaban, so laging naiisip ko si Gilbert. Pero nakasama ko yan sa Brunei, no? Nung tapos na kami sa careers namin, we went there together. He was my roommate.
Okay. Alright. Ben, ikaw Ben. yung pinakamahirap bantayan para sa iyo?
So far naman, wala. Ako talaga, babantayin ko siya. Asawahin ko niya hanggang sa bahay nila.
pero sino yung kanino ka nahirapan? Ha?
Sa misis!
Nahirapan? Wala na ako naisip na nahirapan ako eh. Kasi gusto ko yung maagawan ko siya.
Okay.
Wala, may na tayo dyan, Mel. May na.
Coach Alex, what about you? The toughest matchup for you?
So, sasabihin naman nila sa inyo, Ray, na I didn't guard anybody anyway, so I'll go on the other side of the ball. Jonathan de Guzman, he guarded me so well. He had these really strong forearms, and I think I'd have him beat to penetrate by him. He just locked me in place, and it felt like I couldn't move. And I don't think I had a single good game against him. Like, he seriously guarded me great, and I was really frustrated every time.
Okay, all right. Coach Louis, as a head coach, meron kang counterpart na nahihirapan ka sa kanya or parang nahihirapan ka mag-adjust sa kanya?
During that year, Pasig talaga si Coach Joel. Almost natalo kami. Talaga lang okay itong mga batang to. Especially yun, no? Na injury.
Okay. Right. Okay. One word that best describe your journey with the Metrostars. One word.
Heaven.
Heaven.
Yeah.
Okay. Coach Alex.
One word, hirap sa akin yun, madadala ko eh. Balikan mo ako.
Coach Peter.
Camaraderie.
Camaraderie. Okay. Ben, ikaw Ben. Kahit Tagalog, one word lang.
One word, wala akong maisip.
Sa Rosa.
Mel, ikaw Mel, one word.
Sa akin, selfless.
Selfless. Okay. Coach Peter.
Tapos na ako.
Tapos ka na. Coach Alex.
It's either complete or full. Yeah, I just feel, I'd say full. It was full of so much. Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay, guys, it's been a pleasure for us to have you here. No, baka meron na kayong batiin, no. At this time of pandemic, baka meron kayong mga gusto yung kumustahin na kaibigan o kamag-anak.
Sa akin siguro si Felipe Chudian, yung mga Chudian family, saka lahat ng mga boss namin sa Metrostars. Kinakamusta ko sila. Parati silang nakikinig sa atin. And they always say hi to everyone. Kasi parati ko nakachat si Felipe, parati ko nakakausap. Saka si Boss Louie.
Okay, right.
Ako rin siguro, susunod na ako. Unang-unang papasalamat ako sa iyo, Ray, for having us again. It's always a pleasure to see these guys. Aside from you, of course, it's good to see you. Nice to see these guys. And thank you also, Boss Louie. Pa-advance naman. Sorry, hindi ko lang. Hindi, pero hindi na. Boss Louie, kung may kailangan ka, lumapit ka sa amin. Pero yun, papasalamat ako. Also, lahat, the whole thing, it was the best. So, thank you again.
All right. Coach Alex?
Yeah, just para sa mga teammates, saka coaches, saka mga management and ball boys na wala dito.
Tama.
There wasn't a person that was involved that wasn't a part of it. Everybody had a contribution, and everybody had it was just really a special group. And so for everybody that wasn't here, on all the players and the coach, assistant coaches, and the ball boys and the management, it's too many people to name. I know you have a time limit, but everybody that was a part of that Metrostars team, salamat, mahal namin kayo.
Okay. Ben, ikaw Ben, may gusto kang kumustahin o
Siyempre, una-una, salamat Sir Ray na in-invite mo ako.
No problem.
Thank you so much, Coach, Coach Louie, Coach Alex, salamat sa inyo, Coach Peter, Mel, Romel, thank you. Thank you so much, Metrostars family, thank you so much. Maganda yung nagkikita-kita tayo dito sa Zoom man lang.
Okay, alright.
Salamat sa inyo. Keep safe. Thank you, Lex. Alex,
Coach,
thank you.
Coach Louie,
Ako, una-una sa iyo, Ray, thank you very much for having us here. At dito sa mga kasama ko dito, kay Alex, kay Peter, kay Romel, kay Ruben.
Thank you.
At eto, hindi rin ako nagkaroon ng formal na pagpapasalamat kila Boss Louie, kila Boss George, Boss Jomi, sa lahat ng management. Kaya kay Mr. Bantog. Nagpapasalamat din ako sa kanila kahit
Boss Ramon Tuason.
Boss Ramon.
Boss Ramon Tuason. Hindi ko sila nakausap ng formal nung umalis ako diyan, pero sobrang pasasalamat ko sa kanila dahil like what I've said kanina, yung one word nga, heaven, kasi almost perfect yung season na yun eh. Almost perfect kasi perfect players, perfect support staff, coaching staff, lahat okay sa akin yan. And papasalamat ako sa kanila. And si Ma'am Cynthia nga, last time nakita ko nung wedding ni Paulo Layog, so nakita ko siya doon sa kayong ibang relative sila, Boss Louie. And hopefully, someday makikita ko pa rin sila para makausap. So maraming salamat.
Okay. Meron na lang pahabol na isang tanong lang, no, from Jonas Reyes. May naaalala raw ba kayo na the wildest NBA crowd aside from Manila?
Cebu.
Cebu ang wild?
Yes, sa akin, Cebu.
Okay, alright.
Davao.
Negros.
Negros.
Yeah.
Okay. Right? Okay. Ako rin medyo magpapasalamat din ako dito sa mga viewers. Then may mga nagpapabati rin ng birthday. Happy birthday to our fellow JJ LHS alumnus, Mr. Orvin Roque, former head of the Aztec Group, as well as the boys, Mr. Sergey De La Cruz. Happy birthday. And birthday greetings as well to Miss Lilian Bustia of the PBA and Miss Juliet De Posoy. So, come hell or high water, we're here ready to deliver the clutch points here at the lake. This is your moderator, Ray Holder, signing off for now, but we'll be back for our next episodes of the hottest Scoop Talks you'd love to learn and discuss then and now. In behalf of our director, Alvin Alejo, and our sponsors, Rain or Shine, Smart, and LGR, thank you and see you in our next episodes. So, thank you guys. Bye. And salamat for your time. Okay,
Buhay ka.
Thank you.
Buhay ka,
Good to see
Ray.
you guys.
Ingat kayo, Ingat kayo.
Ray,
Bye-bye.
thank you so much.
Salamat, Ray.
Coach, ingat,
Alright.
keep safe
Hindi
kayo
ka
lahat.
na umulan ba
Ingat.
dyan sa inyo?
Taas.
Wala na, tapos na.
Tapos na kanina, grabe dito.